Beyonce is on the cover of Vogue September issue, and the images are gorgeous and beautiful. Beyonce looks, first of all, nobody does the no makeup look like Beyonce. She is so glowing, and she does just the right amount of eyeshadow where it's like golden. It's beautiful. I do think it's just interesting that both she and Rihanna did the floral headpiece thing. I don't know, there's some, black woman ruling the world synergy there. And yeah, okay. Why am I talking about this? So one thing that I think is really important to take away from Beyonce at this moment is, despite the fact that it would be great to have a real journalist interview Beyonce, because you know that last interview Beyonce did with Elle when she was promoting Ivy Park, that was SponCon. That was not a real interview. The article was not. I would love to get, and we're not gonna get this until 2030 at least. But I would love a real Beyonce profile from a real journalist. Beyonce has told us she's not gonna do that. Beyonce said, y'all gonna have to take what you can get. So in this Vogue, she wrote, she dictated her thoughts to a young black woman journalist named Clover Hope, which I appreciate Beyonce. I appreciate her ideas. I appreciate the fact that she is deeply committed to being in control of her own narrative, but I'm just not. I don't think it's a good look for magazines to be like, do whatever you want. Like, no, like, give us some journalism. But I understand Beyonce wants to be the one in control, like Janet. I get it, but it's not my favorite genre of content. So in that article, Beyonce, let's pull up some quotes. Let me see. So she said, when I first started 21 years ago, we've been rocking with Beyonce for 2 decades. That's crazy. When I first started 21 years ago, I was told that it would be hard for me to get onto covers of magazines because black people did not sell. Clearly, that has been proven a myth. Not only is an African American on the cover of the most important month for Vogue, this is the first ever cover shot by an African American photographer. Now look, say what you want about Beyonce. I am not a Beyonce stan. I am not. Have lots of criticisms of Beyonce. We can even go back in the podcast where I said Beyonce and Jay-Z might need to integrate some capitalism, some analysis of capitalism into their black power aesthetic, but we're not gonna go there. But what you cannot say about Beyonce at this point in time is that you can never say that she does not use her power to put black folks on. She has. Beyonce is now very cognizant of the fact that she is one of the most powerful women in the world, and she is also a black woman, and she's very proud to be black. And she has utilized her immense power to try to bring other black folks into power with her, right? And we can have lots of conversations about, should we seek to integrate these spaces or should we seek to tear them down? Beyonce has decided this is her world. She's going to move within it. And while she's moving within it, she's going to bring other folks in. So she brought in Tyler Mitchell to be the first black photographer of a Vogue cover ever in 126 years. First of all, Anna Wintour, this is shameful, right? Anna Wintour should be ashamed. She should be ashamed to the fact that we should be boycotting, with pickets and stuff. She has been the editor-in-chief of Vogue for 30 years, and you've never had a black photographer? What? And the fact that it takes one of the most powerful women in the world to say, oh, we gonna have a black person do this now. Do white folks, like, this is what we be saying about white liberals, right? That white liberals refuse to conceive of themselves as racist, but at the same time they run huge, moneyed, incredibly influential institutions and structurally keep black folks out of them. That's what I'm talking about. Anyways, shout out to Beyonce for using her power to bring in Tyler Mitchell. The images are gorgeous. They're so beautiful. They're very Beyonce. Like, it's very her aesthetic. And they actually really remind me of the images that she took with the flowers and stuff while she was pregnant and right after she gave birth to Rumi and Sir. I loved that. She also had some really interesting stuff to say about her body. I was 218 pounds the day I gave birth to Rumi and Sir. I was swollen from toxemia and had been on bed rest for over a month. My health and my baby's health were in danger, so I had an emergency C-section. We spent many weeks in the NICU. And then she said, after she gave birth, my core felt different. She embraced being curvier. She went vegan. She gave up coffee, alcohol, and all fruit drinks. But, you know, Beyonce is still curvy Beyonce, so she wrote, to this day, my arms, shoulders, breasts, and thighs are fuller. I have a little mommy pouch, and I'm in no rush to get rid of it. I think it's real. Whenever I'm ready to get a six-pack, I will go into beast zone and work my butt off until I have it. But right now, my fupa and I feel like we're meant to be. First of all, I love that Beyonce uses the word fupa. I'm gonna own up to it. I definitely thought that Beyonce was pregnant. I definitely did, right? Because at Coachella, she was snatched. She was snatched at Coachella, and then during the tour, she just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I just, to my mind, I thought, there is no way that super disciplined Beyonce would be out here with the fupa. But I was wrong, and I own it, and that's totally my fault and my internalized sexism and my biases. Beyonce can do whatever she wants. She can dance her ass off with the fupa. She can get as big as she want to get. She's a mother of 3. She should be able to do that and not have her body be constantly scrutinized and whatever. And I saw a little I saw a little clip of her on one of her shows where she, you know, said, oh, I woke up like this, and she was rubbing her little belly.
Y'all know that your flaws make you beautiful, right? You know that, right? Say, I woke up like this. I woke up like this. I'm flawless.
I felt really bad because I definitely was a Beyonce is pregnant truther. I definitely felt that way. But anyways, that is a lesson for me. Let's not talk about women's bodies. Women are able to do whatever they want. You know, listen, I think that for somebody who is held up as a beauty ideal in the way that Beyonce often is, I do think it is good for her to come out this way and be like, yeah, I'm big. She's not big, right? But she's bigger than we're used to seeing her. And I enjoy the fact that she's like, yeah, I went vegan and I still went skinny. I appreciate it, girl. So Beyonce, sometimes, first of all, it's really easy to forget that Beyonce is a mother of 3. It's like, it's crazy. She says, I want him to know that he can be strong and brave. She's talking about her son, Rumi, or Sir. Sir is her son. I want him to know that he can be strong and brave, but he can also be sensitive and kind. I want my son to have a high emotional IQ where he is free to be caring, truthful, and honest. It's everything a woman wants in a man, yet we don't teach it to our boys. I love that. So, you know, listen. Beyonce is an easy target for a certain kind of feminist, right? I think that there are gaps in Beyonce's feminism, as there are gaps in everyone's feminism. Nobody is perfect. But she also comes through with those real feminist ideals often. And I so appreciate this because, as I mentioned in another video, right, that like feminism is also about building a world. You know, I love cultural criticism. I love to dissect things and deconstruct them and pick them apart, and I love that. Like, there's a real pleasure in critical analysis for me. But feminism cannot just be about ripping things down, you know? It also has to be about building things up. And I love that when Beyonce is talking about her children, what she wants to teach her daughters, what she wants to teach her son, that she is talking about building the future, literally, in the kids that came out of her body. You know, we can't just talk about how broken men are and how they trash and how they never gonna be shit and how they harass us. We also have to talk about how we are interacting with the men and the boys in our lives. What messages are we transmitting to them? What spaces are we allowing for them? And I don't think that in talking about trying to teach men and boys certain lessons, I don't think that that is about, you know, letting them take over our spaces or about ceding our work to patriarchy or the demands of masculinity. It's not about that. It is about the fact that, like, we are all living in this world together, okay? You teaching me, I'm teaching you, you know, and as a parent, you know, Bell Hooks says mothers are our first teachers. You know, as a parent, you do have a responsibility to try to raise up the type of humans that you want to encounter in the world. And I'm not a parent, don't plan to be one, but I certainly have close relationships with young children, and I am constantly cognizant of the fact that it is my responsibility as somebody who has countless critiques of the fucked up shit in this world. It is my responsibility when I'm interacting with these kids to let them know that different is possible, that we don't have to settle for what we've been given. And I've loved and appreciated the messages, you know, not just of what Beyonce was saying about her son, but she also said about her daughters, it's important to me that they see themselves as CEOs, as bosses, that they know that they can write the script for their own lives, that they can speak their minds, and they have no ceiling. They don't have to be a certain type or fit into a specific category. They don't have to be politically correct as long as they're authentic, respectful, compassionate, and empathetic. They can explore any religion, fall in love with any race, and love who they want to love. I love that, you know? And honestly, that for me is a real, like, okay, we gotta get off Beyonce's dick. We gotta get off Beyonce's dick, you know. And that one of her new songs is like, Beyonce was saying, you know, when your name is a verb and people feel like they know you better than you know yourself or whatever. I get it, Beyonce. I'm gonna get off your dick. I'm sorry, girl. My bad. So yeah. That was that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. This is a segment of our patrons only podcast. To view the whole thing or to listen to the whole thing, become a patron and you'll get access to this episode and all of the others. It's lit. It's fun. I'm loose and free and, you know, just saying whatever the Lord puts on my heart. That's all I have. You can also make a one-time donation below. Sign up for our email newsletter. Text 345-345. I love you guys. Bye.